Today I'm going to teach you guys 3 ways on how you can get dreadlocks with curly hair. Today's video is sponsored by MANSCAPED. And I actually did receive some stuff in the mail from MANSCAPED. And the cool thing about being a subscriber to MANSCAPED is that you get 20% off instantly on all of your orders versus making single product purchases. Alright guys, I'm gonna open this package. I already know it's some these. I had them send me out another shirt and some drawers because, yo, they're comfy. But let's check out this package. Ooh, okay. Some crop mop. Could definitely put these to use. Perfect. And also a replacement blade for my trimmer. And it just shows you how to on the back. Cool thing about being a subscriber to Manscaped is they send you out a replacement blade plus a free gift every 3 months, and the blade is for your trimmer. So I'm actually gonna switch my blade out right now. Just open this, nice blade, and you'll be able to see how easy this is. I'm gonna take off my guard first off. All you do is literally pop the top off, push it like that, pops right off, and you can see why the replacement blade is necessary. Now obviously there's hair in this one, but also the blade gets dull over time, and it's awesome how Manscaped sends you out a new one every 3 months when you're a subscriber. All you do to put it back on is literally put it in here, and it snaps right in. Boom, just like that. Another thing worth mentioning about Manscaped, this is the Lawnmower 3.0. Awesome for manscaping. Everyone needs to manscape, you have to, all right? If you're married and you got a wife and you're trying to... Anyway, this helps you prevent any accidents, which we've all been there. Quit lying to yourself. Get yourself a Lawnmower 3.0. Also, subscribe to Manscaped because then you get all these perks along with it. Also got this really cool carry-on bag. I don't know why I just called it a carry-on because I'm not flying anywhere due to you know what. Anyway, I hold all of my Manscaped items in here. But guys, manscaping is very important for the man, especially me. I love manscaping. I love not only just smelling good, looking good, and all around just having good hygiene. And guys, you know how to get some crop mops. Anti-chafing, moisturizing, deodorizing ball wipes. Perfect for on the go. It sounds funny, but it's necessary to keep up with your hygiene. Now for a limited time, all subscribers get a free gift, and that is what I showed you guys earlier, the travel bag, and then also what I talked about earlier is the anti-chafing boxers. Best boxers, hands down. Also one thing, just some security for you guys, there's always a 30-day money-back guarantee with Manscaped. So if something happens and you don't like your products, just let them know. But you guys, let's get back into the video on how you can get dreadlocks with curly hair. Now many of you guys already know that dreadlocks are a very unique style, and everybody's dreadlocks look very different. Now for people with curly hair, it's very different how you can get dreadlocks versus someone with straight hair or someone with very coarse hair. I'm going to give you guys 3 easy ways you can get dreadlocks with that hair type. Now a hair type is basically a category for you to be able to label your hair to see what category you fit in. There's a chart that I've actually created before, and it's a video showing you exactly what your hair type is. Not only what your hair type is, but what method you can choose in order to get dreadlocks with your hair type. Now many of you guys are looking at my hair like, yo, where's your dreadlocks at? I've actually been through a few sets of dreadlocks. I'm telling you guys, my first set of dreadlocks was honestly my favorite, and my dreadlocks looked really good. I miss my dreadlocks quite a bit, and that's why you guys see me making videos on how to actually get dreadlocks. A lot of people have learned how to get dreadlocks because of the previous videos that I've made, and especially during the time that I had my dreadlocks. Now, I would say probably in a year or 2 years from now, maybe even 3, it'll probably take 4 to be exact though, for me to get my dreadlocks back to how they were. Because it was definitely 4 years in the making that my dreadlocks took in order to get to where they were. But what a lot of you guys did see throughout that time was the process of me actually maintaining them and taking care of them to get to where they were. And that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to. You guys can see that my hair is quite short, but I'm at a prime length to actually start the dreadlocking process. Like you've seen in my previous video, that I started using the sponge, and that's actually one of the methods that I'm talking about today because it's perfect for curly hair. Now for everyone who is new to dreadlocks, you have to know what a dreadlock is. And I know there's even a huge debate on whether to call them dreadlocks or locks or dreads or whatever you want to call them. Of course, I know the reason behind the word dreadlocks, but that is the easiest way to find out on the internet how to actually get them. That's why I use the word dreadlocks. I use the entire word, although there is a bad connotation behind it. I understand that. And if you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, that's great, that's perfect. But this is essentially what a dreadlock is. It's a section of your hair that is repeatedly knotted up, or in other words, locked up. That's where you get the word locks. So if you picture it this way, if you tie a knot, and then you tie a knot on top of that knot, and then you keep tying knots on top of each knot, that's how you get a dreadlock. So if your hair is locked up at the root and it continues to lock up all the way to the tip, that is going to be a dreadlock. So if you take, say for instance, this little section of hair, and say I twisted it, and then I made sure that it stayed in that twist for enough time for it to lock up, and then that section will eventually turn into a lock. So the best way to actually get locks is not necessarily the method behind it, but it's keeping your hair in sections long enough for it to actually lock up. Now guys, on to method number 1, and it's the method that I told you guys earlier, and that is using the dread sponge. Now I personally love the dread sponge because I started my first set of dreadlocks out with this, and I've done tutorials with the dread sponge before and you guys enjoyed them. And also a lot of people like this because it's kind of a quick route, it's a fast route to getting dreadlocks. It's an easy method to do, it doesn't take a lot of work, it doesn't take a lot of smarts either, anybody can do it. The biggest thing is just going in the same direction wherever you're at on your head. So if you're using your left hand, keep going clockwise. If you went clockwise on the right side, always go clockwise. Unless you want to go counterclockwise, then always go counterclockwise. That's the hugest tip I can give you with the dread sponge. And also you can watch the full video of how I use the dread sponge down below. I'm gonna link it. And another thing to remember is it's different using a dread sponge on someone else versus using it on yourself, because on someone else it's easier to go in one direction versus using two hands, because you have to literally go the opposite directions with the opposite hand. But in the end, it's all in the same direction. So if I'm going forward with my right hand, then I have to go backward with my left hand. But you guys, this is a method that I highly recommend for people with curly hair, and I would definitely say that your hair would most likely have to be a 3A or higher in order to use the dread sponge, in order for it to be effective. Now I've heard stories of people with straight hair using a dreadlock sponge, but I don't see how that's possible or how it could work, just because straight hair doesn't have anything to grab onto. Now I could see it possibly working if the hair gets clumped up in some of these circles and then starts to knot up versus curl up, because essentially what the dread sponge is doing is enhancing your curls or enhancing your curl pattern, or just creating sections with the curls on your head and then allowing that to lock up. Because all the dreadlock sponge does, it doesn't give you curls. I know people call it curl sponge, but all it does is it clumps your curls together, because that's what the holes are for. Another tip that I told you guys in the last video is that based on the circles on the dread sponge, that's how far apart your dreadlocks are going to be. So you can see the spaces in between the holes. That's how far your sections are most likely going to be apart, just because your hair is getting into these holes, and then these are the sections that are going to come out depending on what actually goes into the holes. So that's a pro tip. And for me, I don't use this side, I use the flat side with the holes. But guys, that is the dread sponge. Now believe it or not, that is the third option I would recommend you guys. And I'm going to be going in descending order, on 3 being least and 1 being the best that I would actually recommend for people with curly hair. Now just because this is the least, this is top 3, so it's really not the least out overall. But I definitely wouldn't call this bad. I would say it's still really good. I use it on myself, and I would definitely say you guys should use it. And you can use all 3 of the products that I'm listing today at different times with your dreadlocks. Alright guys, number 2 product. What do you guys think it is? Okay? Yeah, you're right. It's Jamaican Mango and Lime Locking Gel. This is the resistant formula. And I'm telling you guys, this product is 100% necessary if you want dreadlocks, especially if you want them maintained. If you want freeforms, then that's a whole different ball game and you don't need this. But if you want to maintain your dreadlocks, get yourself Jamaican Mango and Lime Locking Gel. This is hands down the best product for locking up your hair. Now, I would say this is the best locking gel. I wouldn't say it's the best product for locking up your hair, but it is definitely the best locking gel. I love it, especially the resistant formula. This is for harder to lock up hair. And the resistant formula is perfect for people who have curly hair, because curly hair doesn't lock up as best as very, coarse hair or tight curl pattern or anything in the fours, which in today's video I'm not really talking about anything in the fours because that's very tight. I'm talking about more curly, kind of like my hair. This is perfect for you guys just because it has an extra hold and it's for difficult to lock hair. And it also says it's for gray hair as well, which gray hair actually has a different texture than regular hair, if you didn't know that. But you guys, this is what you use on retwists, and I would recommend getting yourself some duck clips while you are doing a retwist with these. But you guys have heard me talk about Jamaican Mango and Lime in literally almost every single one of my videos that I talk about dreadlocks, and the reason being is because is perfect. It smells good. One thing that Jamaican Mango and Lime does that is different than others is it obviously smells good and it rinses out very well. Not only does it rinse out, but it has a really good hold on your hair when you do the twisting with gel method. And if you guys did see the Dread Sponge video, you've seen how I mentioned that some people will use product before they go in with the Dread Sponge. So if you wanted to, you could actually take quite a bit of the Jamaican Mango and Lime, you know, rub it in your hands and then rub it in your hair and then go in with the Dread Sponge. So you can see how both of these can work together. And the beautiful thing about Dreadlock products, or the ones that I'm listing, and also all the products on greatlocks.com, is you can find products that work all together. You know, the sky is really the limit when it comes to using any product for your dreadlocks, because you're on a journey with your hair and it takes steps, and all you're doing is really just walking your hair through the process. But you guys, that's Jamaican Mango and Lime. Link to this is down below as well. And I'm telling you, I stand by this product. Hundreds of thousands of people use this product, and it's an awesome product. Smells good, washes out nice, and it has a great hold. And like I mentioned, make sure to pick yourself up some duck clips as well, because when you twist your dreadlocks, it's easier to hold them in with duck clips, or you can actually go in afterward and braid your hair. Or you can do two-strand twists, whichever method you want to do, whichever style you want to do after twisting your hair, it's up to you, as long as it has a tight hold at the roots. So far you've seen the Dread Sponge, and that is one method, and then the locking gel for twisting with gel method. Those are both great for curly hair. And like I said, don't forget to get the resistant formula, because it works on hard to lock hair. Because I'm pretty sure you guys are like me in the beginning stages when I thought that my hair type or my hair was just impossible to lock up. And I don't know why that was so drilled inside of me that I didn't think that I can get dreadlocks, but you actually can. Alright guys, last but not least, I'm sure you guys guessed this already, and that is the crochet needle. And this is the best product, hands down, for dreadlocks. It is the best product you can get for your hair. And the reason being is because you can create instant dreadlocks. I'm talking dreadlocks within 5 hours if you had the time. And I'm just talking about like dedicated time to actually creating yourself dreadlocks. I've finished someone's head in under 5 hours with the dreadlock sponge, and they had, I think, 70 something dreadlocks. It was a high top fade of dreadlocks, and I did it in 5 hours and completely mature dreadlocks. This is perfect, and it's also a perfect follow-up for the Dread Sponge. After you create your sections, after you use a little bit of product, you can start going in with your crochet needle. I'm telling you guys, this is the perfect tool for dreadlocks, because there's a difference between tools and products. Now, obviously these are all products, but I list them in two different categories. This is a product that you can apply to your head, which is the locking gel. And these are two tools that work to enhance your dreadlocks, to make them better, to mature them faster. Now guys, the difference between this tool and this tool you can use on just about any hair length after your hair is about 3 inches long. Now the Dread Sponge you can only use on shorter hair, from probably ranging to 2 to 3 inches, maybe 4, like 2 to 4 inches. So the Dread Sponge can only go up to about 4 inches. The crochet needle can go from 2 inches to anything above that. So if your hair is above 4 inches, I don't recommend getting the Dreadlock sponge. I recommend you guys getting a crochet needle. Now I'm linking this one down below because it has a handle on it and it is hard to find, so I'm linking it directly to you guys. And I have it in a 0.5 millimeter, and I'm telling you, this is the perfect tool for your dreadlocks. This is the only thing you need, and you're all set, trust me. People like Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, Lil Uzi Vert, any rapper you can think of has most likely used a crochet needle. And the reason being is a lot of them actually go to the same hairdresser, and then all of them use crochet needle. If you've seen people who had dreadlocks installed, they used a crochet needle. If you've seen people even just start out dreadlocks, a lot of the times they use a crochet needle. If you've seen people who had frizzy dreadlocks and then eventually they didn't, then they most likely used a crochet needle. If you've seen, I did a review on Greatlocks of Amine, and you've seen how his hair was free-formed at one point, and then eventually his hair is all separated and he now has, you know, twisted with gel dreadlocks. But I'm telling you, they probably eliminated a lot of that frizz from doing separation with a crochet needle. And it is a prime tool. Everybody needs to get one if you have dreadlocks. If you don't, then go ahead and get one. I'm linking it down below. And overall, you can use all these products together. And I'm saying you can use all three of these products, but don't use them out of order. Like, don't use the crochet needle and then go in with the Dread Sponge. You definitely want to do the dread sponge first. If you're going to use all three, use the dread sponge, then go in with the Jamaican mango lime locking gel, and then go in with the crochet needle. But if you were to use just these two, then that's fine. If you were just to use one of this, if you were to just use the crochet needle, then that's great. And if you want to use these two together, that's great. These are all interchangeable. But you guys, it's really that simple. Dreadlocks are really easy. You just gotta figure out how to do it. With dreadlocks, you're probably gonna learn a lot of new things, and all of that comes from trial and error a lot of the times. With me, with my first set of dreadlocks, I didn't know it was even possible until I seen it happen on my own head. And then over time, I just learned and learned and learned, and I just kept watching YouTube videos and learning from other people, and it helps out a lot. I would tell you one thing: to whoever you're gonna learn from, choose a select few that believe in the same thing and then run with them, because you don't want someone telling you the dread sponge is gonna only work on short hair. Then someone comes in and says, oh, you can use the dread sponge on any hair type or on any hair and on straight hair. Like, because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to go buy a dread sponge if you have straight hair just for someone to make money. But I will tell you what's gonna work and what's going to help you guys out. But you guys, that's today's video. Don't forget, I'm telling you, get yourself a crochet needle, because this is gonna help you out a whole bunch. And also, all the other products that I listed in today's video are down in the description. But guys, other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys do have an amazing day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Peace and God bless.